Hello, everyone on the planet. Listen, okay. You have to keep your energy high so you can attract in what you want. We're gonna get there. However, let me go through the introduction. So the people that don't know me will know me and my mission and my vision. So my name is Sade, the curator, founder, and owner of Between Here and There, a Thrive-based consulting business centered around global hygiene and applications of information technology. So with global hygiene, we define it as the cleanliness and the health of the planet. So the planet we live on, it's interconnected, interwoven with these different systems that we as people of the planet, stewards of the planet, we can either uplift, stabilize, or degrade. All those systems work with one another. It is a sentience, right? And so, therefore, we have to do our part to get in flow to ensure that we're living the best, most healthy, clean lives that we can. So, today is on the Gregorian calendar 2023, July 19th, at approximately 14:19 here on the East Coast. I'm located here, right? And excuse me, the topic is our water is in danger. Okay. Um, our use of it, right? Our use of it, other things that call for the use of water. So it's not just our consumption. There's plants, which is the flora, the fauna, which is the other animals, as well as other systems that humans have created to provide more luxuries for our experience. And that's energy, right? So things that are created, different chemicals, uh, nuclear energy, which I have a video titled Electric Cars. How clean is it? That you can get a bit more information when it comes to water usage and nuclear energy. Our water is in danger because it's also being polluted. It's being consumed at high levels, and it's being routed into directions that do not rejuvenate its systems. Okay? So its systems not being rejuvenated is because there's a lot of push for these concrete jungles. These concrete jungles do not allow for the proper triculation or percolation of water back into aquifers and other water collection groundwater systems that occur in nature, occur on this planet. So these concrete jungles have asphalt and concrete that maneuver the water in directions away from a direct infill of water. Okay, so it's directed. So if you out on the road when it's raining, you notice the water is flowing across those materials, across the asphalt, across the concrete, and it's not being absorbed by the soil. Other things that could prevent the absorption is removal of trees. Trees, trees and plants are needed to use their capillary process of pulling in water into its system. There are some plants as well, which I'll talk about gardening, that if they have what happens when they have too much water, what happens when they don't have enough water. So with our water not being flowed back into these systems to be rejuvenated, it's causing areas to be hotter, to uh, lack water, to be in a different, again, a different temperature, because water is also used to maintain internal systems within your body and within the planetary body. Contamination of the water is also an issue. there are systems in which wastes are moved, processed, and routed through our water systems. However, we're creating, and I only say we as you can partially relate to what where is it coming from, or I'll say humans, or I'll say beings that have set to destroy the planet, because there's no way a creature that loves the planet, is from the planet, or has a connection to the planet will want to poison it. So these beings are creating materials and combining chemicals that they know don't have the capability of breaking down and returning into the earth from which they came. There's something called a half-life. And so carbon is our what makes biomaterial on our planet. Carbon dating is used to identify how long this chemical takes to return. And the science is already there showing that there are chemicals just in you designing that chemical, like through organic chemistry, you designing that chemical, it is not going to break down. There aren't other things that could be done to break this down. So, this sentient being, the planet Gaia, will create other systems and services to attempt to do this. But we are stressing the planet out with too much. So, pollution, the routing of water, as far as also what we're putting into these systems. So when we're creating artificial fertilizers and pesticides, those things are leaching back into these water systems and eventually air systems, because the hydraulic cycle also encompasses condensation and precipitation. So water going up and coming back down. And so when water is going up, it is collecting whatever is in that water system. When it's coming down, it's collecting whatever was in that air system. So when things are being burnt into our atmosphere, those are collected and spread across different air systems, which eventually go into our water systems and become dissolved. Some of the dissolution of those chemicals cause issues within the biomaterial in those water bodies. So the plants suffer, the animals suffer. What can we do about it? Always, what can we do? What is our role? Well, we can control our consumption of water. We can get back to our appreciation of water, for starters, right? Because when we appreciate water and see how much we use in our daily activities, we can start to adjust and say, well, maybe I can reroute and use these things for these in this manner. But an even more larger issue is larger corporations, factories, manufacturing businesses that use large amounts of water to create their product, their service. Those are the areas we need to have more focus on, because the average person does need a certain amount of water per day. Cooking, cleaning, consumption, bathing, hygiene. Aquatic activities. We still are going to enjoy this life, you all. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy the entire journey. With that, we're going to take with us some skills and knowledge. So, our water being in danger, we have to get on board with our way forward. Polluting is something the individual also has to stop, as well as these corporations. So, putting your trash in the proper receptacles, don't just dump random things in our waterways, and understand how precious water is and start to direct your consumption into more beneficial uses. Such so you're not doing things as far as watering your grass, you're just constantly watering your grass versus watering your garden. Your grass is going to give you some aesthetics, but your garden can give you even more when it comes to aesthetics, when it comes to nourishment, when it comes to seeing the fruits of your labor, because that's a high level of feeling of enjoyment when you get to see that. Start small. I'm going to put out more information of gardening so you can start that journey, because it's an interesting one, especially looking at plants and how they act and interact with one another, things that they require, they like, they don't like. It's very interesting. They're living beings. They just aren't able to uproot like we are and move about or communicate in ways that we do. Right? So, when it comes to seeing toxic waste, report it to your city, council, and state water system services. They need to address that and ensure that they point the correct finger in the correct direction of where this is coming from, so it could be stopped, it can be addressed, it could be cleaned up, and we can prevent it from happening again, because it's going to take us, the citizens, not just scientists, not just people who have a certain title. It takes everyone to be a part and do what we set out to do. So, our consumption, what we're putting in the water, I'm going to have some information about how to identify how to filter water, what key things to look for when it comes to a water source where you are. If you're doing a off the grid, and off the grid meaning not tied into whatever type of energy system that someone else has created, you can create your own energy systems and grids, as well as how to use water effectively. What type of system can you create that you get the most benefit from your water source? So I hope you got something from today's message. I thank you for being here. I thank you for stepping up to the call. I thank you for being you, because you are needed. Your unique information, insight, and knowledge is needed on this planet. So I thank you and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your day.